Is my stream working? Should be. There we go. Cool. Oh, a nice chord progression. Like an A major thing. Just use jamming it now. I don't really know what to make out of that, but it's nice, isn't it? I feel like an E minor and an A major is a weird combo. Ah. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll come back to that. Anyway, working on some lyrics for this song. Get rid of this stuff. Here they are. So, idea is kind of. Oh, so I don't know what I meant by sound effects on the guitar. What am I talking about here? Oh, okay. Right. So working on a lyrical theme, and well, here it is. Kind of been watching a lot of Brian Cox talk about the universe and stuff. I thought it was really interesting. And so I kind of did a bit of stuff earlier, but just trying to find topics, phrases, words that all kind of relate to, well, there you go, duality between finding purpose in an infinitely large universe, but also finding comfort in the fact that we're sort of insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Or being, I suppose being, that's the other way around, isn't it? It's, or being discomforted, or feeling uncomfortable with the fact. Yeah, that's kind of more what it should be, actually, isn't it? Yeah. It's like, you know, finding your path in life when there's so much going on around you, but also sort of, you know, at the same time, or maybe it is about, yeah, finding comfort in the fact that it does. Oh, that was it. Right, sorry, I take that back. It was like kind of almost so being a bit nihilistic, but like in a positive way, like sort of positive nihilism. You know, finding comfort in the fact that, yeah, and almost just finding comfort in the fact that maybe nothing really matter anyway, you know. I'd say if I am a nihilist, I'm a positive one. It's probably a good thing. So, yeah, I think these are kind of some of the words I got with a bit of help from ChatGPT. So, trying to think of I might also just jam the chorus chords. So. Quite nice on there. So, like part of me is tempted just to see if I can just jump in with a bit of a chorus idea or something. So I got these. It's mainly just two chords. Sorry. Thank you. Well, this is the main. Here you go. This is the main chorus. Yeah, so it's kind of quite layered. There's quite a lot going on. It's just a demo at the moment. I'll get around to mixing it and actually getting stuff on it. But got that, and then that, and that. So all the layers. Yeah, the strings are kind of like. I don't know which ones are the plucks, but yeah. So they're all doing a bit, and then I've got this quite cool thing, which is a bit out of time. There's a lot going on. And then it's a big epic kind of ending. Are you a musician? I'm doing lyrics today anyway. I'm only gonna be on here for about an hour or so, but I'm gonna get some lyrics down. Yeah, well, maybe see if I can get something for a chorus. So I need to think of like a structure. Yeah, so I'll do all that when I get around to mixing it. I find like so far I've just got everything hard left and right. I think they're hard left and right. It should be, yeah. Yeah, it's all just, you know. Let's get a width from that. I think these are all just, oh no, some central stuff, but it's all just left or right at the moment. Why is that? Oh yeah, kind of makes sense to be there. Don't know why it's not playing. Oh, there you go. Hey, thank you for following. I appreciate it. I've not had a follower in ages. I had a good bout of getting more followers recently and it's gone quiet. Oh, no worries. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'll catch you again sometime. Yeah, I got this. Kind of movement. Something to like maybe harmonise with it. That's going to be quite high. Where do I want to go? Oh. Yeah, I feel like a melody, something matching this would be cool. Bigger. Hold on. Wait, no. Why has it done this? What? How'd how's this happened? Resize the layer. Why has it gone that? Why has it done this? I can't. What? I hate logic sometimes. It's making a normal size layer. Oh. Jeez, there we go. Right. Okay. No, these are not the same size. I don't know why I'm so bothered by that, but there we go. That's about right. So never mind. Alright. So, in terms of like a direction for the song, like song structure. Needs to have some sort of sense of I don't really know what I want to. I know I like this topic. It's quite an epic sort of song, so I feel like a grand proportions kind of theme like this works, but I just don't know how I want to express it in like in sort of an order in the verses and the choruses. These words kind of pop out as being. Maybe I sang it from like a different perspective, you know, I didn't sing it from my own perspective because that can get a bit repetitive, you know, I could sing from perspective of I don't know. Could be interesting to sing it from like a past perspective, where obviously they didn't have the sort of technology we have now. You know, so when you're wondering about this stuff, I suppose it's only, I suppose in the past they didn't know how infinitely large the universe was. Like a metaphor, sort of. Yeah, he's sort of trying to answer a question, I suppose. Like, how do you find sort of meaning and purpose? How do you sort of frame that question, and then also find comfort in the fact it is a kind of a, what's the word, two things pulling in either opposite directions. Repel is a good word, actually. Like it's a sort of paradox. That's another, actually, to be fair, that's another good word, isn't it? Try that. Could I maybe have like two voices? You know, so like two conflicting voices where you know, like an angel and a devil on the shoulder type thing. Or multiple narrators, as we'll call it. I suppose you could have like the believer versus non-believer. You know. So like just gotta be careful not to make that really cheesy and like a almost musical theatre-esque. That could be an interesting topic, an interesting way of framing everything. Let's just play it so I can just listen, and as I try and think. Let's go from right from the beginning. Go back. Yeah, there's something, it's kind of quite a weirdly upbeat verse. And so there's something kind of cool about having slightly darker lyrics over quite a major key kind of verse like that. I suppose this bit's a bit more, you know. It's got a bit more drive to it, that part. Well, the first bit. Can't remember what the second chord is. What was it again? I always forget these parts are alright. I need to go back and learn it. There's something interesting in having like a happy sounding part. It's kind of like a melancholy sort of sounding part, isn't it? But then having quite confused lyrics. Or like meandering sort of. By the way, meander. That's cool. Quite a good melody. It's just a simple one, isn't it? Just like that. It's quite cool to end on that note. Yeah. Be a nice little melody. I was doing that. Oh, it's in the high. Oh, that's kind of cool, isn't it? Because I'm starting on the 7th. It's interesting. yeah, kind of like, that was a melody. It's kind of there. There's no point trying to be too clever if there's a cool melody. I like that. Check it out. It's got to follow that, I think. Kind of cool little melody. Probably map out the vocal melody somewhere. Oh, is that an urgent message or is that not? What does it say? Oh, yes, okay, that's fine. Right. Be cool to try out the acoustic over this actually, just get that. Might have to do that. Maybe, can I just record it now? Is it gonna... It's gonna be a bit loud if I just whack it here, but... Back a bit. Oh, it's just clipping anyway, isn't it? Plus I'm gonna hear it in there. Right, let's not do that. Say, acoustic layer. Couple of chords, right. I kind of like the idea of having two narrators, you know. Whether there's like a yeah. bit more of that, isn't it? Also this part. Kind of quite a dark part that I sort of liked. Kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it kind of needs a different framing, like... Is there a way to frame it like... on a more like personal level, I guess. Could be quite interesting is like from the perspective of like kind of got sort of an idea, but I'm just trying to think it through in my head. I quite like. idea for this bass. Had a bit of an interrupt this with an idea. Kind of like this. Kind of cool, isn't it? Dropping the bass out on that part. An interesting idea for maybe a way of framing this. I think it's quite cool. Like the lyrical concept. See this bass line, it's pretty. Lacking distinctly in anything down. It's not doing anything below there. Right. Why is that cut off below? Hang on. Is that just where that bass? Interesting. Let's get some more. So I have this kind of idea of like, if the sort of song, it's kind of all existential, but like making it from almost like an author, like a book writer. Obviously everyone knows what an author is. Creating like a character. And so, and actually kind of trying to make like the perfect protagonist. I'm going to use the word protagonist because that's a better word. That like, is kind of, what's the word? Like driven, finds purpose even though everything is quite overwhelming. It's another good word. So trying to create this character, because obviously a lot of people I think struggle with this as like a concept in their own lives. And so creating a sort of character, if you were to create the perfect protagonist, they would kind of wrestle with these things but sort of find peace in them, and so the author is wrestling with his own ideas, and it's kind of a metaphor for me writing a song as well. But I'm going to write this out quite succinctly, I think, so that I know what I mean when I come back to it. So from the perspective of an author wrestling with his own sort of ideas as he creates the perfect protagonist to his story. Or his novel. It's a book after all. Kind of like that as a concept. Like rather than me just asking loads of questions in the song about like finding purpose and and sort of finding comfort in the sort of vastness of everything. I think because that could just be a bit on the nose and a bit depressing, or not just depressing, but just like a bit too philosophical and lofty and boring and snobby. Yeah, so like sort of the perfect hero would kind of, the hero's arc is kind of a thing, isn't it? Like sort of the perfect hero / character wrestles with the ideas but figures things out in the end, kind of thing, I guess. It's still a bit of a vague way of coming up with a song, but then kind of structure it as like, so the beginning is, the song is like, so like verse 1 is like how do I create this character kind of thing. So we're a bit of a long concept as a song that's going to get 8 plays on Spotify, but I like it. So like, yeah, verse 1, how do I create this character? Yeah, you give him, it's kind of getting a bit like almost borderline sort of talking from the perspective of God. I'm not a religious person, but it's kind of getting, it's a bit like that, but like how yeah. Yeah, I'll just go with that. I'll never get copyright struck, probably. It's quite an epic. I feel like this is a pretty epic sounding, tune. So I think it needs an epic, epic storyline behind it, I think. kind of, yeah, that's sort of the gist. Like, so the idea I had for the song is like, initially, it's only literally in the last 15 minutes I kind of thought of this as an idea, but the thing I was playing around with this morning when I wasn't on stream, as a topic was like, I've been watching a lot of Brian Cox talk about the universe, and I find him really interesting. And it's interesting, like, you know, talking about trying to finding purpose when things are so overwhelmingly, you know, when the universe and just life and existence is so overwhelmingly large, and you don't kind of think, what do you do with your time? But then also kind of finding comfort in the fact that it sort of doesn't matter, because we're such a tiny little speck in the tiny little blip in everything, you know. And I think that's kind of an interesting like thing that you can wrestle with as a concept. And then I thought, well, I don't know, it's maybe a bit generic or a bit on the nose for me to just write about that. It's not that generic, is it, I guess, but it's like a bit, how would you describe it? Like, it could come across as just like quite typical, I don't know what's going on in my life, blah, 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 sort of song. There's a lot of songs like that, you know, people just singing about their struggles. But I think, so to frame it in a more interesting way, I was thinking, well, and it kind of ties in like it with some idea of sort of spirituality. I'm not a spiritual person, like I said, but just it ties something in there where you sort of, you know, if it's like it's an author who's writing a character, you know, for his book or whatever, and he wants this like protagonist who's, you know, dealing with all of these concepts, but obviously he's not figured it out himself, you know. Yeah, so I think the conclusion, I guess, which is, I suppose, final chorus, so good point or question, it needs to resolve in something that, like, saying sort of I don't know, I don't know, the idea that like the story was good because he wrestled with these things, I suppose, is maybe a good outcome. I don't know what the answer is, but I guess that's because I'm kind of, this is almost like a layer upon layer, because I'm writing this song and I don't really know what I want the ending to be. That could be a good final chorus, like, you know, saying I don't really know how I want it to end. You know, it's an interesting, quite philosophical, like, you know, author doesn't know how he wants the story to end. You know, like, in itself is quite an interesting, you know, like an optimistic cluelessness. I'm going to put that down. Do you get what I'm saying? Or does this sound like nonsense? The ramblings of a nonsense man. I like just putting "man" like man at the end of words like that. Like a rando's man, someone who just does random things. It's a good word. Yeah. Because I think it would be a bit cheesy if I just ended it with like, and the hero figures everything out. You know, I think that would be a bit cheesy. And so if we're going to be a little bit existential about it, you know, let me play you from the start so you can hear it from here. I won't play the whole thing, just play a few parts, but I guess it's kind of like, what would you call the genre? Like, it's definitely rock. It's got some heavier bits in it. Still quite far from finish, but, you know, getting there. Hear this for a little bit. I'm not sure I'm able to play this. Yeah, could be interesting. Yeah, I do kind of like. I think what's interesting is, you know, this concept of the hero's arc, like how, you know, how there's like, you know the hero's arc where like he goes from, what is it? I'm going to look this up now because I could actually structure around that. Where are we? So, yeah, it's a narrative structure where a protagonist leaves their ordinary world to go on an adventure, facing trials and challenges, and ultimately returning home transformed. That's not the hero's journey, they call it. Same deal. Why does everyone decide to message me when I'm live on stream? So where's Twitch gone? There it is. Yeah, it is difficult. Like, also, do you make musical stuff? I'm guessing from your name that you're a musical person. I think. So what is this? All right, hero's journey. So it's is it like a little? I need a diagram. Oh wow. Okay, here it right. I need a left to right diagram. Huh. Wow, the hero's journey is a really well documented. It's like a cycle, which is cool. What do you do? So it's call to adventure, and then challenges and temptations. Abyss, it says. Death and rebirth. Transformation, atonement, return. Huh. Right. So departure, initiation, return is supposedly the hero's journey. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you heard of this before? Oh, cool. I am also an audio, well, you know, I guess music producer to some degree. I teach guitar and then I also produce. I can play you one of my songs. Here you go. Ignore the phase issues. I know they're there. I just didn't hear them when I uploaded this. So this is one of the finished songs. Skip to where's the chorus. It's kind of one of the more similar to this one, I guess. It's that kind of, it's a more epic side of things, but then we got some heavier stuff. There's a heavier bit in this one. Yeah. This is real. Don't tell me now you needed the handlebar to show you how such holy ground you profit. It's funny hearing how many things I would mix differently, like hearing it now. Did this a while ago. It's this year, but like, thank you. So yeah, I just write them. So they're all. The first song is the only one with programmed drums. This is electric drums, as in like he played it on his electric kit, but he did play all of the parts. We then just quantized them because I still wanted to get him playing on it, but just like recording drums. So like 3 of the songs. So this is again his actual drum kit on this. Like, I don't know. This ending is quite good. So this is his actual drum kit. He has a little drum solo in here. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So this is him playing on an electric kit. So that's actual playing, but real fake drums, we'll call them. So it's him playing, and then obviously comped it and got the MIDI velocities all right, just so that because like annoyingly it would record like the odd kick drum at like 2 out of 127. You're like, well, obviously he didn't do that. So you have to kind of make these adjustments, but I'd rather just record a real kit, but it's obviously not that easy to do. So, plus like doing the drum edit on his real kit took forever. Although we did luck out because we got to use some really expensive microphones. Yeah, it's easier to mix the electric stuff as well, I guess. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go soon because I need to eat my dinner, and then I'm actually teaching some guitar, funnily enough. So if you want to follow, that would be awesome, because trying to make this thing work. Hey, thank you. I always feel bad asking, but hey, you don't ask, you don't get. Do you stream at all? It's still hello. Yeah, I really need to get that sorted. Gimli going, it still only counts as one. You can't. You start talking just as I'm about to leave. Got 2 new followers today. Can you see the concept on the screen that I'm going to try and sing about? Oh, cool. Okay. I kind of like the idea of this author, like, so it's from the perspective of the author creating a character, and he wants to make the perfect character who's like dealing with these problems. And the chorus, I guess, could be like, it's like, I haven't even figured out these problems. How am I meant to write a character like this, I guess, that's got to be like the verse, hasn't it? How am I meant to create a character that figures them out and gets a happy ending? Not like that, I don't. Happy ending always just sounds bad, doesn't it? Gets a fulfilling. How do we say it? That gets a happy ever after. I'm so childish. Okay, how come you stopped streaming? Oh, sorry. What was the question? Yeah, why? How come? Why did you stop streaming? I definitely need the... Right, so we can get rid of this multiple narrator thingy. Because I think I've kind of established I don't want that. I'll have to come back to this. Well, an eyelash in my mouth, there we go. So there's a guy eagerly writing his story, or he's planning his story out. So, but he's stuck because he's got writer's block because he's like, it's the first one I'm literally going to write writer's block. And then, what's the main... Oh, okay, I know the feeling. Yeah, if you're just doing something kind of aimlessly, yeah. Well, part of why I'm streaming is to, so people listen to my music and that. Whenever I hear my songs now, I want to go and mix them differently. So at some point, I'm going to go back and remix the old tunes, I think. Because you can re-upload them. And I only want to let myself do it once, because I could remix them till the end of time. So I only want to do that once. There's only there's one actually. The last one I played you, I'm actually pretty happy with the mix, but the others I'm like, I need to... Stuff that I would quite substantially improve, I think, if you gave me like an hour to just tweak things. So yeah, see, okay, right, I've got a concept. Just need a way to... And this is quite a good way of writing this story out, because then obviously, because it's told from the perspective of the author, if I feel a bit clueless as the songwriter, I'm like, oh, that's the whole point. So like, okay, so we're starting with, I've got a finish and a start and a finish to the song. So he starts saying like, how on earth do I create this character who figures things out and has this hero's arc? Or undergoes a hero's arc. Let's have ever after. And then, but the ending is like, oh, that's kind of, oh, he's just still stuck in the same place. Maybe that's not a good place to end the thing. Or maybe the bridge could be like, I've really written myself into a tricky situation here. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to hop off. This is only meant to be a short stream where I just got some ideas down, because I've got to go and do some things now, unfortunately. And I had some shit to do this morning. So I'll be on hopefully for a lot longer tomorrow, because I've got a bit more free time. And then I can flesh out this concept, I think, is the next. And then it's just a case of getting some lyrics, getting some ideas on. And yeah. So thank you for hopping on, everybody. Thank you to my new followers. I appreciate that. If anyone else wants to follow that's watching, that'd be cool. I'll do a little songwriting update video later this evening, I think. I'm going to hop off. So we've got some ideas now, which is cool. I will catch you when Streamlabs lets me. I will catch you all later. Yes, I shall. Have a good evening. I'll catch you again, hopefully tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, you give me an extra thing. Put a character for every verse, and in the chorus you realise that the mighty hero does not defeat his problems. That could work. Yeah. I'll think about that.